It was a dark and stormy night when 17-year-old Alex convinced his 15-year-old sister Emma to sneak up to their attic to dig out an old spirit board he had found earlier that day. Emma trembled as they lit candles around the board, her nerves on edge. "Are you sure this is safe?" Emma asked timidly. Alex scoffed with faux bravado, masking his own hesitation. Emma's blood turned to ice as the planchette violently jerked under her fingers, scraping across the board. The flames extinguished in a burst, plunging them into darkness. A strange, animal-like wail erupted from the shadows, raising the hairs on the back of her neck. "Hey Alex," she stammered, panic rising in her chest. She could not see her brother in the pitch-black attic. An icy hand gripped her wrist, causing Emma to cry out. The smell of something rotten filled the air. She blindly thrashed, trying to break free of the phantom grasp. "We shouldn't have come up here," Emma screamed. "You said it would be safe. This isn't funny anymore." She felt behind her for her brother. "Alex, where are you?" A violent crash jolted Emma. She spun around wildly, blinded by the dark. Where was the exit? She stumbled and fell to her knees as the icy presence pressed in closer. Suddenly, a faint light flickered. Alex had managed to relight a candle, his face ashen. His mouth opened and closed, but no words came out. His eyes were fixed on something behind Emma. Emma whirled around and recoiled in horror. Scratched into the wooden floorboards was a message. "I warned you." The planchette slid across the board under its own volition. A sinister chuckle echoed from the rafters of the attic. They weren't alone. Something had crossed the veil, and had no intention of leaving. "Run!" Alex found his voice again, yanking Emma towards the attic door. The phantom grasp released Emma and she sprinted behind her brother. They flew down the stairs, not daring to look back as the evil presence pursued them into the house. Slamming the attic door closed, they sealed the entity upstairs. But they could still sense it watching them from above, as the storm raged stronger outside. Their innocent curiosity had unleashed something unspeakable. This was only the beginning. As they placed their fingertips on the planchette, a frigid gust of wind swept through the attic, extinguishing their candles. Emma shrieked in the darkness as the planchette jerked under their hands, scrawling out a chilling message. "Get out!" They scrambled to their feet, hearts pounding as they fled the attic. Little did they know, their first session with the spirit board had opened a portal, and something sinister slipped through. In the following days, paranormal events began plaguing the siblings. They'd hear ominous whispers as they strained to fall asleep, only to jolt awake from vivid nightmares at exactly 3 a.m. each night. Furniture and toys would rearrange when their backs were turned. They caught fleeting glimpses of shadowy figures darting across hallways. Terrified, Emma and Alex reached out to the eccentric old woman down the street who was rumored to be psychic. As she entered their home, her expression darkened. "You've summoned something wicked," she uttered gravely. According to her, the spirit board had acted as a portal through which a vengeful ghost crossed over, consumed by inexplicable hatred for the living. The psychic urged the siblings to dig deeper into their family history to uncover why this spirit was haunting them. Through old newspaper clippings and town records, they learned that generations ago, their great-great-uncle had been suspected of horrendous crimes but never convicted. His malicious spirit remained, seeking revenge. The haunting escalated into violent poltergeist attacks focused directly on Emma and Alex. Desperate, they attempted to banish the spirit through an exorcism ritual given to them by the psychic. But as they recited the incantations, a stunning realization dawned. They themselves had begun exhibiting early signs of transformation into ghosts. Somehow, the haunting had opened the door to the gradual possession of their souls, turning Alex and Emma into the very entities they were trying so hard to escape. They had to find a way to banish their great-great-uncle's spirit before they were trapped in spectral form forever. Racing against the clock, Emma and Alex plunged into a final showdown with the vengeful ghost of their ancestor. The fight took a terrifying turn as the siblings teetered dangerously close to losing their mortal souls. With their psychic mentor's guidance, at the last possible moment, the siblings managed to expel their tormentor's spirit and close the portal for good. Relief washed over them, until they looked down to see their bodies had become translucent. As the last grains of sand tumbled in the hourglass, Emma and Alex made the ultimate sacrifice for each other. They would remain earthbound spirits to keep each other company for eternity. Though the entity was banished, the curse left them spectral siblings forevermore. The siblings rushed down the creaking stairs, their footsteps echoing through the dimly lit hallway. The air grew heavier with each step, as if the malevolent force lingered in the shadows, feeding on their fear. The walls seemed to close in on them, and the once familiar home now felt like a sinister labyrinth. As they reached the bottom of the stairs, a guttural growl reverberated through the house. The flickering candle in Alex's hand struggled against the encroaching darkness. The siblings could feel the oppressive presence behind them, a spectral malevolence that whispered chilling promises of doom. The storm outside intensified, the howling wind merging with the anguished cries echoing within the walls. Emma stumbled over an upturned rug, her heart pounding in sync with the ominous symphony surrounding them. A cold gust of wind brushed against their faces, carrying with it a nauseating stench that made their stomachs churn. Alex's voice trembled as he shouted, "We need to find a way to banish it, Emma. We can't let it follow us." Their eyes darted around the hallway, searching for a solution. The shadows seemed to dance in mockery, concealing secrets that only intensified their terror. A distant, muffled whisper echoed through the air, making it impossible for them to discern if it was a trick of the wind or the voice of the vengeful spirit. As they stumbled into the living room, the atmosphere thickened with malevolence. The furniture seemed to shift with a life of its own, creating grotesque shapes in the dim light. A spectral figure materialized in the corner of the room, its hollow eyes fixated on the terrified siblings. Emma's breath caught in her throat. "We have to end this, Alex." They fumbled through the chaotic scene, desperately trying to find anything that could help them banish the entity. Books flew off shelves, and the temperature plummeted. The ghostly figure drew closer, its unholy presence paralyzing them with fear. In a moment of panic, Alex found an old family heirloom tucked away in a dusty corner, a mysterious amulet with faint, ancient symbols. As he clutched it in his trembling hands, a surge of energy coursed through the room, and the malevolent force recoiled. But the relief was short-lived. The entity's wail pierced the air, and the amulet's glow dimmed. The siblings realized that their battle against the supernatural had just begun, and the malevolent spirit would stop at nothing to consume their very souls.